when he first played me your guys' stuff, I went, oh, they're from the UK. Oh, definitely. Definitely. Punk purist. They're from the UK. Wrong.
No, we're just three old dudes in Nebraska.
I was surprised to hear. Yeah. So where did you guys pick the name Bad Bad Men? Where did that come from?
To be perfectly honest, we had our song Bad Bad Man.
Okay.
Which
That's
was like one of the first things we were fucking around with as a song. And then lo and behold, we're working together. I don't know, whatever, rehearsing and stuff, and somebody asked us to play, and we're like, shit, we have to have a name. And this was just when fucking there's always a lot of bad men out there, but this is when things were kind of felt like gonna peak. It was like, I remember before COVID and fucking election shit and all,
No, there were a lot of bad men in that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and no shit, and all around everything. And so it was just kind of tongue in cheek for us, and so we wrote it out. We had it at our first gig, and it stuck ever since.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, only the bad part is when they Google it, it comes up with some B-list movie called that. I was like, no, that's not it.
Yeah. At least there's somewhat of a presence. When before our album came out, shit, I don't think there was any, very little out there. So
I think you might be the first band that we that I guess that created a record because they were playing shows with their kids' bands. Is that right? Did I read that somewhere?
Yeah. I mean, there's somewhat there. I mean, all of our kids are musicians in some fashion, and so my kids, I don't know, I think that's probably one thing that's probably kept us playing, is having kids that, at least for me, got into music, man. It did reinvigorate me. I was still continually playing, but seeing them, and yeah, we've played with my kids have a band called Pagan Athletes, and they're in another band called Cat Piss. We've done shows with them, but
that's cool. Man.
So it's
I've never heard of that. That's great. Yeah.
Jerry here, he's got I'm gonna speak for him for a second, but he's got a nephews in another great band, Nowhere, that, I mean, they'll rip like 13 songs out in like 11 minutes or less, and that's their set, but they're a freaking great band too. So it's pretty cool. There's a lot of good music in Omaha happening right now, and not even related to, I would say, any of our relatives. Outside of that, there's some great bands as well.
Yeah, there's lots of stuff happening.
Yeah, it reminded me of like when we talk with Rob Lamosse, because a lot of his kids, I think all his kids are in music, and but they'll play in bands together. And sometimes, have you ever done that where you had to like sub in for your kids' band because the drummer was sick? Or
not quite, but my son Griffin plays keyboards on the album. He plays a little bit of keyboards on 3 of the tracks: Good for Nothing, Messed Up, and Ransom Note. Just little parts we had him play, so that was cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's good if you can keep it together. I was surprised he had Xander on drums on his latest venture, but they're always back and forth. So that's always a good thing to have, because if you're ever in a pinch and you need a musician, there's one right there.
Right.
Oh yeah, I have a kind of built-in drummer, my kid, who helps me sometimes like lay out some shit once in a while. So it's fun.
That's awesome. So did any of you have like a professional trained background, or were you self-taught?
I'm self-taught.
Self-taught.
I took lessons for a couple years when I was a kid.
That's probably all you need to get going. Do any of you
I
currently?
had a few. Go ahead. Sorry.
Do any of you currently teach? No.
Good God. Nobody would want to learn from me. They'd be like, wait, what the hell are you doing?
Go back to my kids. My son, who's a drummer, he does teach. He's like, yeah. So
gotcha.
That was the DIY scene back in the mid 80s, early 80s in Omaha. There wasn't a lot of professional musicians around. We just, bands just popped up everywhere, and We were kind of the stopping ground between Denver and Chicago for bands that needed a place to, make $50 in gas. And
Yeah.
John booked a lot of bands in Nirvana, Soundgarden, all that stuff back in the day. So it was a vital scene. If a band was playing in Omaha, there were a couple hundred people there easily every time they played. It was just a music scene, which is crazy because nobody thinks that about Omaha, but it was quite a time, and everybody just had bands. It was fun.
Well,
Yeah,
I wish
so,
I
no,
wish
we're
I
not-
recognized I wish I had recognized the Cellophane Ceiling, but I had never heard anything by him or
Yeah,
the Men of Porn. There's a link there I read somewhere. Like who was in that
yeah.
band?
So that was actually the first time that Jerry and I played together. So a friend of ours, Tim Moss, used to be in Ritual Device with Jerry and I, and so him, Jerry, myself, and another gentleman named Jeff Heater got together and did stuff. Just barely played. Did a few kind of gigs that needed to be played from a previous band, but and then did some recorded in the studio
In
and
some studio, we did South by Southwest in 90 or 91,
somewhere in there, maybe a little bit later. I think a little bit
maybe
later, but yeah,
93, something like that.
yeah. But so Porn, so that was the first time we played together. Yeah.
Hmm. I mean,
That was a
was it
blast.
those were different style bands though, right? They weren't playing the style of music that Bad Bad Men play, were they? Or was it more like
No,
Yeah.
That was Tim doing Tim had a lot of stuff that he just wrote and needed people to back him up on. And I think he
I helped
actually
write
had,
some
like,
of it, but it was more a little bit heavier, definitely like it's a little more like Sabbath with some noise in it. I don't know.
Gotcha. Okay.
but we all kind of come out of that vein to the old classic rock vein. So
Right.
You
Classic
can
rock,
hear
punk rock.
that influence too. You
Yeah.
know, even though it's solidly punk, every now and then you throw in like a little like the beginning of the drums at the beginning of Flag Day. It's like almost jazz,
that's this guy. That's Chris. Chris doesn't like to talk too much, but Chris is an incredible drummer.
That beat is so intricate to that song because that's weird because that song was written kind of the kind of the riff kind of just keeps going. It's like a John Lee Hooker blues riff, but didn't want blues drums, and that what he came up with was just miraculous for the song.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
What I like about it, and it's a difficult thing to explain, but you guys have this sort of, I call it a riff economy. And it's like the same way the Dead Boys had, the same way the Sex Pistols had, where the song is so good, but when you take it apart, you're like, oh my God, it's 3 chords. That's it. The chorus is just the same 3 chords backwards, but
Yeah.
we get so much mileage out of that. That's why we used to always call it chord economy,
Yeah, it is. It's funny.
which makes it really easy for me because I can just sit in the background and carry it. And John just will do these crazy like key changes on the guitar. I'm watching his hands and I'm like, I can't even bend my fingers that way, but he's picking up all those notes. And unless you really listen to it, you don't get it, but
Yeah.
it makes it really fun.
Yeah, it's keeping things somewhat simple, but fucking it up enough to make it enjoyable for us. I mean, some of the things that we put together, there's some weird number changes and some things that keep us on our toes when we play, which makes it fun. And so
Understood.
Yeah, I really love the guitar work and Throw You Away at the beginning where it's like almost Shag's level discord and wow. And then it's like
I love it. That's
My wife is gonna
it's
love
a
that.
it's
My
a
wife-
drone chord. There's a drone note in there, and that's why, yeah, nice.
Mm.
See, that's the shit I like. Something just a little off kilter. What the hell?
Yeah.
throw a little feedback squall in there. It's fine.
Yeah. I guess my favorite example of that, the one I always go to, is the guitar solo that Robert Quine does in Blank Generation, where somehow he hits none of the right notes, but he does it with such attitude that there's nothing like it. You can't play it. Like it can't be.
It's pure imagination, and
Yeah,
John's
I
not
think
his
I
own
think
horn, but he
Greg
has a lot
Ginn.
of that.
I think Greg Ginn would be next. Like everything he did, where it was like, oh my God, what is he playing? Like some kind of Mongolian jazz scale or something? What is that?
Yeah, no, it's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No.
So the inspiration for your songs, are any of them based on an actual story? And if so, would you have to kill us?
To tell us, right? Yeah.
You know, some, there's no doubt there's, it's character, right? And sometimes it's based on something that's happened to me. Sometimes it's something that's happened maybe to somebody else, and sometimes it's just pure bullshit made up. I mean, just telling a story. Not, I don't want to say bullshit, but just coming up with a theme in your head. But yeah, so yeah, it's all the above. It's there's it's weird how songs come to you, and lyrics and that stuff, a theme, and sometimes, like now I think about it, sometimes it's different than what I originally intended. It morphed. There were like the meaning morphed because it meant something at that time. But as we got in, and that was part of it actually in the studio, when we got in recording the songs, felt like there was somewhat of a theme, how these songs kind of work together. And so it felt like kind of telling a little story. And as I listened to lyrics, I was like, okay, there's a kind of a theme here, So
Did it come together pretty quick in the studio? It sounds like it did. It sounds like you just kind of ripped right through the songs.
It did. We worked with a guy named Adam Roberts. I mean, we kind of went in. I mean, we worked on obviously enough songs for an album, but went in thinking, okay, if we can get 5 or 6 down,
Yeah,
we'll kind of be happy. But once we met Adam, the guy who's the engineer, he came to our rehearsal. We started feeling, okay, this guy at least gets us, I think. And then when we got in the studio, he totally got us. We felt, at least for me, is like most comfortable recording session I've had. Maybe it's maturity, but
He's a good leader. He kept us on track. We would be going back and forth about, oh, this doesn't sound good, this doesn't sound right. And out of nowhere, over the speakers we'd hear, or over our headphones we'd hear, it sounds fine, next song, coming from him.
I can
So we
fix
move
it.
on.
I can fix it.
Yeah,
or he would tell us, no, that you need
Yeah.
to do it again.
He was great. He was great.
that's a
Good project,
true
man.
producer. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
production is so good too, because literally you can hear every part equally. The vocals and the guitar are on the same. It's just beautifully crystal clean.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So Mikey, who mastered it,
So Adam, the gentleman we recorded with here in town, basically he mixed it. I mean, we were there for a little. We gave him full credit, but we were there to say balance this or that. And then we had this gentleman named Mikey Young in Australia master it, who does, if you look around, you'll see his name on all kinds of stuff, and he kind of gets rock and roll that's not too clean, So it was good to have him do it, and it sounds pretty in your face.
and
It
it's
does.
actually a really nice studio, and a lot of people have recorded in it. That we could, not to name drop, but it's a really nice studio. You'd be surprised in Omaha. It's a very, very nice studio.
It's
Very
world
well
class.
equipped.
Yeah. Day room for sure.
So,
But very, very, very reasonable,
but very reasonably priced.
in a great location.
Yeah, just blocks from my house.
Yeah.
So that's all that matters.
Oh, that's always a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah, what more
Yeah.
could you ask for right there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who designed this beautiful we have behind us?
The artwork.
The artwork.
Well,
It's so
we keep it all in the family. That's my oldest son, Nathan. To be honest, it's something he did when he was, I'm not even sure how old, but it sat in our fucking basement. Every time I walk by it, I go, that's going to be an album cover someday. And
now
so
it is. Yeah.
it's something he did, and he was like, no way, you're not going to use that. And so
That's great.
but we did. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So I wanted to ask you, so I mean, you guys have been doing this for a long time. So what are some of the good and bad of making music now versus making music back in the 80s and 90s, in terms of, there had to be some good back then and some that's worse now?
I would say to me, it's easy to say right now, because we're truly kind of just doing it for ourselves. We know we're beyond, we've done all kinds of bands and stuff, and now it's just really about trying to enjoy it. And it's like, if we don't enjoy it, I don't want to do it. And we get along, we have fun. We play enough, but we're not playing a ton, right? We felt like we've played a lot for us as of late.
Too much this year.
But it's easier right now because we don't feel any pressure, and it's just doing it truly, like I said, for ourselves and our enjoyment. And it's been great. The people seem to like it and come along for the ride a little bit.
So back then it was more like label pressure and stuff, or your personal pressure that you put on yourself.
It was personal pressure. It was personal pressure.
Oh,
I mean, we didn't have the internet. It was like you pulled out your atlas in the van. Like pulling into Chicago, you drop a dime in a payphone to call the club and say, "Where the fuck are we?" You know, it doesn't happen like that anymore. We tease our kids about it who toured, and just like, "Oh yeah,
it's easy."
Yeah, but easy. This is hard. And you pump your, 410 cabinet up 10 flights of stairs to play for 30 minutes. And, it's just not like that anymore.
Or if you're playing, talking about pressure, maybe you're playing with some people, maybe you're not truly enjoying it, right? You get to a point where maybe the fun is gone a little bit and you keep playing, and that's not.
Yeah.
That's not good. Like when somebody's not happy or so,
Right.
So that's what's been good about this. I hope, these guys might be laughing behind my back, but, but we have a good time doing it. And just, like I said, no pressure. And that's, I think, how we're able to do the album fairly quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you've seen it. There's a 4-hour Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers documentary where he talks about, I'm talking about where they just got in the van and said, we're going to go get signed. And they did. It was like 73 or something. And they stopped at a phone booth. And in the phone booth, someone had left a crumpled up piece of paper that had all the phone numbers for all the record companies. They just were like, I guess we just call these numbers. I mean, crazy.
It was destiny.
So unthinkable now, Yeah.
Yeah, no, and that was the thing when we were out blasting around, opening for bands, playing with bands, playing in little towns in Louisiana where the kids were just starved for some sort of live music. And I really appreciated it, but it was a grind. It was just a grind. It was nonstop grind after grind after grind. And after 4 years, I was just like, it got a little tough, to keep grinding it out and doing it. But it was worth it because you would show up in some place that you've never been to before, and there'd be 250 kids packed into a strip mall, empty bay, waiting for some live music to play, And all of a sudden they would just go off and you'd play for 40 minutes and you're just like, oh wow, that was well worth the drive. So I don't know how you do it now.
Yeah. If you follow a lot of the, like back when it was all labels and in I guess the 80s and 90s, you can almost track a lot of bands that they go until they get to like everybody's starting to turn 30. And that's when it's like unless you're a big name, unless you've made it, that's when it's like, well, bass player really wants to settle down and get married. And then that's when it's like the momentum starts to pull, if you can make it past that, then I don't know, maybe you got something, but yeah, it's tough,
It is. And like I said, that's, we're doing it for our enjoyment, and like it's made
and now it's like, oh fuck, you don't like it, fuck off, right?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is a great place to be.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's exactly how we are with our show.
Yeah.
Stace and I realized all we ever did was things for our kids. So it was like, let's do something for us. So that's what the show is. So yeah, same thing.
Well, that's kudos to
Same
you,
thing.
man.
All right.
It's a great feeling.
Fun,
It really
man.
is. Yeah.
You're asking us questions about us. Tell us something about you. You have kids? What's your thing?
Yeah, our kids are all grown and in the process of getting married and whatever else.
Yeah, I'll have the significant others or are married. So, they're all up and grown.
They
and-
wouldn't be cool with the music like your kids are. If I tried to play like some of my shit for them, they'd be like, "Yeah,
Oh,
this is so old."
do you
This-
know what? You guys
Really?
inspired Mark to write a song.
It's true. Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
on.
He's working
Well,
on it.
I always am writing stuff for the show, but I had this idea that I was going to write a song about how I'm afraid of lottery tickets because I don't understand how the lottery works. Okay. And for some reason, I got the idea right after I wrote the review for your album. So it does have that kind of ain't it fun sort of despondent 3 or 4 chord vibe to it. So, I mean, it'll be up on the show in a couple weeks, but yeah, it's basically, yeah, kind
I
of
love
it's got that kind of ode to heroin vibe to it, but it's about how do I go multi-match or do I go cash for life or, what do I do? I don't understand.
it. You gotta figure out the right score, man.
And I want to get audio of like, I don't know if you ever go in like the liquor store and you hear these women that they know the numbers and they're like, give me my
Oh, yeah, they have
13,
the-
give me my 27. And but I can't let them see me recording them. So I'm working that out. That's my found sound. So
Well, here, I was gonna show you, we use a little handheld Zoom recorder. You just put that right in your pocket and
Yeah.
it's sweet.
all right, I'll look that up. Zoom recorder. Okay, I will. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, something tells me about one of his other songs, Silas Turner. We actually did like a 4-minute mockumentary, like it was a rockumentary about it. I got a feeling this is going to be another one. It was
Right
epic.
on.
We shall see. So the great thing about that is if people say, God, you suck at guitar, I'd be like, dude, it's a comedy show. Get over it. Again, it goes to your who gives
You
a
don't
fuck,
get the
right?
joke.
I'm not in Dream Theater. All right. Come on. So
Oh, shit.
Well, one of my favorite part about you guys outside of the music is the vocals, because I like how you kind of have that little apathetic whine in there. There's no anger. It's just there.
Wow, that's his new nickname.
Apathetic
Wine.
well, it's
I
like
like
that. Yeah, like the cheetah chrome kind
Yeah.
of, yeah, that kind of I'm in a back alley somewhere aching for heroin. Yeah.
it.
So
There's some struggle in the voice, right? There's some
Right, exactly.
There's some I want you to help me in that
Yeah.
tone.
Yeah, no, there was some intentional pushing, and which was great. It pushed me to a place I didn't think I could, get to at times. And then it's like, oh, okay, there's another level here. And so,
Speaking of that
Yeah.
kind of thing, a great book. I forget the guy's name, but he was in the band The Pagans. I don't know if you know the band The Pagans,
yeah, oh yeah.
but it's called Diary of a Punk, and it is the best rock and roll book I've ever read. It's like the
I
stuff
haven't
he
read that
says.
one.
It's like, we decided to, we would always, we never paid for Cleveland Indians games. We just would break in or, he got some bad news. So he just decided he was going to be homeless for 2 weeks in New York City. And just, it's just like, he would just drop everything and just go on benders. And yeah, they spray painted the Pagans logo on the outside of the record company's building. And then when they cleaned it, it was permanently there because now you could just see from the acid wash. So just
That's beautiful.
tons of stories like the true don't give a fuck. Yeah, really.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for that book.
So have you guys heard any does people compare you to any groups, and do you agree or disagree with those comparisons?
Or how about any really weird ones? Like, does anybody say that you guys sound like Dio or something? I mean, is there any weird shit like that?
It's funny. Motorhead's popped up in a couple.
Well,
right?
that's not too far off. I can see that.
Yeah, but I was like, man, I thought that was awesome. I was like, I'm not like, I haven't devoured hours and hours and hours of Motorhead. Yeah, I have a Motorhead in my collection. I've seen Motorhead, but I'm not like a Motorhead freak. And I don't know if anybody is, but that was cool. I haven't had anything. It's like, whatever. I mean, sometimes it's at least they're listening. Probably my favorite one was somebody said they had a hard time comparing it to anything. I think it said it, and they stretched, like said, maybe the Super Suckers if we had to, but it's like a really hard time describing. So I thought that was cool. I loved what you said about the kind of some of the New York influences and that. I was like, okay, I like,
Yeah.
when I heard fucking Voidoids, I was like, man,
Yeah.
that's,
I like that. Yeah.
No, it's weird because we have so much background, music in our background, growing up. And I think that's the thing that really kind of brings us together is just the general love of music. So for me, there's very few things that I listen to that I don't like, which is weird because I grew up, my parents were very conservative, and I grew up in kind of sneaking in classic rock, Zeppelin, Sabbath, Judas Priest, that type of stuff.
After midnight.
Ramones was
Right.
like a big push for me. Clash, I'm a huge Clash fan, and people will diss me for that. But
Nope,
I love
that's one thing
Clash.
Jerry and I bond on that.
Yeah.
big time.
And then all of a sudden, like Dead Kennedys, right?
Yeah.
Early 80s, X, Under the Big Black Sun,
Mhm.
Wild Gift, that kind of stuff. That's when my brain started spinning, and I was just like, okay, there's
Oh, yeah.
so much more out there.
Yeah, I
So much
bought
more out
plastic surgery disasters on vinyl, and I brought it home,
yeah.
and I was like, it was like I had porn. Like I was reading the lyrics, and I was like, I didn't want my
Yes.
parents to know.
Right.
There was some pamphlet in there about graffiti, about how to
Yeah.
avoid the cops and stuff, and I was like, I
Yeah.
can't let my parents find this right.
Contraband.
Crucifix. You listen to
Right,
Crucifix?
Wisconsin.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
fucking killing cops and whatever.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's crazy stuff where it's like,
Crazy,
as a
yeah.
great
Mhm.
stuff. It was just
Mhm.
blew my. But
Felt
at the same
awesome to
time,
have that shit.
psychedelic furs, early psychedelic furs. I mean, I love that shit. So it
Oh,
was
yeah.
all
Me
that stuff, and it's just Old Cure. We have some covers that we
we
play.
played it. We played a Cure song for a couple shows.
Primary.
Cool. Yeah,
The whole
yeah.
primary.
People are
just
like, "What the
space
fuck?"
drumming, yeah.
What the fuck is
Yep.
that?
Our drummer was really into Stuart Copeland, so I used to fuck with him. I used to be like, I listened to Clash, it was great. And then what's the other band, the Shitty Clash? The Police. That's right. Yeah. And he'd be like, fuck off more. Yeah, I always called the Police the Shitty Clash.
Oh, I love it.
Gun Club. So John and I share a love for Gun Club. If you don't have any
Oh,
Gun
yeah.
Club stuff, pick up
It's
early
like
Gun
it's
Club
like a
stuff.
punk blues. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mother
yeah,
Juno is my
definitely.
record.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'd say.
When we're-
Definitely,
so
I've
that's
got my
kind of-
roots.
Yeah.
So we play a game. Normally, if it's one person, they get 5 questions. But since there's 3 of you, maybe we'll do 2 apiece. So I have 100 questions in front of me. So each of you are going to pick 2 numbers, and then you'll answer those questions.
2 numbers between 1 and 100.
Okay, I pick 5 and 4.
5 and 4. Should we just go?
Yeah, just go.
5. Have you ever tripped and fallen in front of a crowd?
Yes. In a horrible way, where I actually
do
split my
tell.
nose open and bled out. Like
Oh,
bled
geez.
for like
Oh, geez.
where to the point where I had to take like gaffer's tape and pull it around my nose so that my nose would stop bleeding.
That's a very rock and roll story, though. I like it. Yeah.
It's true. It was horrible.
4. What is your favorite type of food?
Good Lord. Mexican.
Can't go wrong with
Mexican. It's Mexican. It's Mexican. Sorry.
I was
We have
reading
a
the interview.
lot-
To say that.
We have a lot of good Mexican here. We have a lot of really good
In
Mexican.
Omaha,
I just
Nebraska.
met
Well,
you-
see, I would have never
Yeah.
expected. That's
No,
wild.
yeah, and nobody knows that, but and I just spent 2 weeks in Mexico City, and you could not get Mexican food there. I'm like, what the fuck? It was Italian and whatever. I'm like, but we have a lot of really good Mexican food here, so that's my answer, Mexican.
I remember I saw this interview with, I think it was the guy from Buck Cherry or something. He's like super rail skinny, or it might have been Duff McKagan or something. And they were like, you're over 40 and you're so skinny and good shape. What's your secret? And he goes, I don't know. I just had 3 slices of pizza. That was, that did not answer the question at all. But oh,
No,
well.
I like it though. Good answer. I don't give
All
a
right.
shit.
Yeah.
Next victim.
Chris.
Chris.
About 33 and 77.
Okay.
33. Did you
Wow.
ever eat something that was past the expiration date?
No more.
Oh, fuck
Oh,
yeah. On
Karen.
purpose or an accident?
Either.
Either.
Yes to both. Yes to both.
Today
I think
or
we've all been
yesterday?
there.
Right before this podcast.
I had this horrible, I was in college, right? And I'm running through the hallways and I hadn't had time to eat breakfast and I bought powdered donuts out of a vending machine. And I'm running to class, throwing them in my face, and they tasted weird. And you couldn't see because of the powdered sugar, but they were completely moldy.
Green.
Green.
Ugh.
Can't eat powdered donuts to this day. Can't do it.
Donuts.
There's no way.
Those are the donuts, right? DONETTES. Yeah.
Yeah, they fill that machine every other April. Yeah. So
Yeah.
God.
77. Do you have any nicknames?
I do have a nickname. I've got quite a few of them, but for some reason, I don't even know how I'm going to say this because I don't even really don't like it. that
Now you
much.
have to say it.
Now you have
My girlfriend, my name is Chris, but my girlfriend calls me Chip. I don't know why.
She calls him Chip all the
She calls me
time.
Chip. I'll be in a different room. I'll hear this Chip. You know, she got her mom calling me Chip. Other people sometimes call me Chip. I'm like, oh fuck. Well, whatever, you know. So yes, I do Chip.
that's great.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
Chip. No, we don't.
We get these notifications on TikTok when people like our videos, and some of the names it'll be like, you know, Dirty Jim 669 liked your video, and I'm like, I was trying to get Dirty Jim's business for years. This is the greatest thing. You're a bitch,
Dirty
yo,
Jim.
liked your video. Great, finally. I've been banging on her door for years, you know.
That's funny.
All right. Next victim.
John's turn.
John.
All right. 3 and 99.
All right. 3. If you were bionic, what parts would be replaced?
Oh
Oh,
man.
careful
Okay.
there.
Let me think
Careful.
about that. If I was
I wish we were
bionic.
drunk right now.
Oh my God, that's a good one. She gave me the good one. I don't think of bionic penis. I don't think everyone goes there, but no.
You don't need that. You're good.
You don't want to hurt people.
Man, the bionic.
Right arm.
I'm gonna have to say bionic foot so I can kick some ass.
I like
Yeah.
it. That's a good answer. I like it.
Most guitar players would say a bionic
Yeah.
hand.
Strumming arm. Yeah.
Something.
I like the way I play. I don't need anything to fuck it up. So
All right. 99. How would your parents describe your personality?
man, I
To
got
his
some
face or
issues.
to others?
My
To
my
others.
parents, they would say they think I'm probably a little off kilter, but I'm very good. I love my parents. They love me, so they wouldn't probably say anything too bad about me. They'd say I'm a good, caring person, but a little bit off kilter, and he does his own thing all the time. That sometimes they just don't understand, but won't try to totally understand that. Whether
I
it's
used to tell
my
my parents-
political view.
I used to tell my parents, your generation was good at one thing, and it was getting our generation to move out.
Yeah, yeah. I was out definitely.
I was out
early,
by
and-
18. 18 in one day. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's funny, like, yeah, now, because my parents are, thank goodness they're both still alive, but older now, and just, it's like, man, it's kind of turned, got to make sure I'm checking in on them. So I try to do that. So they'd say I'm a good kid.
Anyway.
So
yeah.
besides Bad Bad Men, can you recommend a few other Omaha bands we must check
I
out?
know you started too early on. Yeah.
Cat Piss for one. I'm
Bib.
interested.
BIB Bib.
Uh-huh.
They
Incredible.
are incredible. They're
Cool.
a hardcore band that is so good.
Yeah, Bib's definitely good.
Bib. They're on SoundCloud and
We get some
Bandcamp.
national recognition quite a bit.
Yeah.
Pagan Athletes, John's kids band, which is great.
That's a great
Yeah,
name,
they're
by the
really-
way.
Yeah.
That's a
Taking
great
athlete, we said
name.
Nowhere earlier.
My nephew's band, Nowhere.
You can look them up. I think it'll be Nowhere, Noise, usually where they're. Cat Piss is another good band.
Those Far Out Arrows.
Yeah, those Far Out Arrows, great band.
Great, kind of in the same kind of vein, but a little more hippie than us, a little
Okay.
more jammy than us.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Garst.
we'll start getting YouTube comments where they'll say, "What, another Nebraska band, you two? What's wrong with you?" Sorry,
There's
so many good
lots.
ones. There's so many
Omaha's
good
full
ones.
of really good bands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Full of good bands.
Let's see, who else out of Omaha?
There's Wagon Blasters on Speed. You got to check them out. The other record, there's other bands on Speed Records. David Nance is from here. I don't know if you know David Nance. Check him out.
Okay.
There's all kinds of
Who is the owner of Ozzy?
John.
That's John's cat. That's John's cat. He's a sweetie.
He's
Sweet
a
orangey.
he's a badass actually.
Yeah, he's sweet and a badass at the same time.
He's
I
a killer.
love his posing pictures.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Is that where
See-
is he also the mascot for Cat Piss?
He showed up in some cat piss posts.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
has showed up in some cat
He has, well, actually, I did the Cat Piss album release poster and I used Ozzy for it. And it's a pretty, I wish I had a copy. It's a pretty cool blow up of his face that's posterized and pretty cool.
That's funny. After the Grammys, people I work with were like, Mark, did you watch the Grammys? And I was, no, I don't watch it. Ozzy won like 3 awards. And I was like, fuck, now he's never going to stop. He needs to stop.
Same with John's
Don't
cat.
encourage him, you know.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Same with John's cat.
Yeah.
We're like, don't encourage Oz.
No
Yeah.
shit.
He's not looking very good these days. Ozzy's looking rough.
So if you guys could create like a fantasy tour lineup for yourself, like to go on this tour with, no, holds barred, no financial restraints. Could you think of 3 other bands who you would like to play with? It could be current bands or bands from
Even
the
if
past.
they're dead on toilets, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This is your dream.
Oh God, that was so tough. That's gonna take me like a week to think of.
Well, if I had to say
Now, if we could limit it to current bands, Idols would be one of them
Mhm.
because I fucking love Idols.
Okay.
But I can't think of 2 others right now. That is gonna be a tough one. John might be able to think of one. X, maybe.
Yeah,
X,
I don't know. I mean, if you're talking
any band.
current, or anybody that's been around all the time, Richard Held and the Voidoids would have been somebody I would have
That's a
loved to
good
do
one.
a
Yeah.
show with.
X
You know,
is still
something
around,
like-
right? The X scene's
Yeah,
still
X,
alive.
X is still around, yeah. But,
Billy,
but,
yeah,
yeah.
he's still alive. Yeah.
the freaking, I'd love to go to Australia and, go play, back in the day, go back in time and play at the Saints or something like that.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Ah, yeah.
that's that's where I would probably.
I like
into.
Eternally Yours better than the first one. That's my album.
Yeah, I think they're,
So good.
I love them both. I can't,
We played a Saints cover and nobody knew who it was. So we
then-
we nixed that.
And then Radio
on the list.
Birdman too. Radio Birdman.
Yeah,
same-
that's what I mean. I love all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Australia is great. I'm huge on Australian rock right now. There's
Yeah.
really some cool things going on there right now.
I'm cool. I'm cool with Australian bands as long as they fly here because I don't sit on a fucking airplane for 24 hours. I would kill someone
Well,
if I was in an airplane.
It's hard doing the time zone with Australia because it's tomorrow there, and it
like-
fucks with your
I'm like,
mind.
people, I'm flying to Australia. I'm like, why the fuck are you flying to Australia? Nobody flies to Australia.
I know.
It's horrible.
I'm doing some record trade with somebody there, and the hours they respond to mine, I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Right, like
Here
he
we are.
responded before you asked because it's tomorrow.
That's really confused me. He knew what I was gonna ask me.
Exactly. Yeah, it's free time.
We were talking about setting up an
traveling
interview with a band, and Mark's like, okay, so they're 16 hours ahead. I'm like, my God, we like barely got Dublin right. And then Nebraska has 2 time zones. I'm like, I'm so confused.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, the
yeah, we
US is
do.
fine. The US is fine. Like interviewing US bands is so great because you guys get the jokes and stuff. Like when you talk to these bands from Finland and stuff, being funny is a lot harder. They just don't get the
I'm
jokes.
sorry. I
just
never
don't.
talked, Chris. Talk about your tour, your dream tour.
My dream tour? I was just trying to think of, I don't know. That's a very hard question for me. I don't know. I honestly couldn't answer it right now. Sorry.
Yeah, that's a lot of brain power.
Yeah,
for me to
it's,
try to do about that.
I'd have to sit down and look at fucking.
Who's your favorite drummer of all time?
Well,
I'm gonna put him on the spot.
John Bonham.
Okay. So there, he wants to play the Zeppelin.
Zeppelin. Do a show with Zeppelin. Yeah, I don't know.
They said any?
Yeah, any.
Yeah.
This is your baby.
That's like asking me, where's a good place to eat at like 2 a.m. when there's 500 of them, but I can't ever think of one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hate that.
No, I understand. Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah, I think I'd have to put you guys on tour with Night Fever and the Hip Priests. What do you think?
I like it.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
let's get that together.
Night Fever in the hip, who?
The Hip Priests. They're from the
I
UK.
don't-
Night Fever's
Yes.
from
Yes.
Denmark,
Yes.
and the Hip Priests
I
are
don't know
from.
Night Fever, no. All right,
Really good.
I will look that up.
Yeah.
Well, let's
Hint,
book it.
we've interviewed both.
Yes, we have. Yeah.
Nice.
Did you guys said you were in Baltimore, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So are you familiar with Meat Jack
Yeah.
from Baltimore? 80s band, low 90s band, I should say.
Yeah. What? I liked them. I liked another good one was Lungfish. I don't know if you know them. They were Baltimore.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
no,
Lungfish.
I would just
So
walk
hungry
into a
there.
bar and they would be playing, and I'd be like, "Cool, Lungfish." Yeah. So that was nice.
Right on.
But there's not a lot
Yeah.
of great bands from Baltimore. There's just not. I mean, so
Who's the flyer artist from Baltimore? Was there no, that was Cleveland. Is there a flyer artist from Baltimore?
I don't know.
I thought it was Cleveland, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Derek Hess or something.
we had like
Yeah.
Reptilian Records. We had. and
Yeah,
that
Reptilian.
was the fuck was that band? They had like Pulling Teeth and Dactyl and
And
I don't know.
Kicks. We always had Kicks.
well, yeah, but that's
Yeah.
that's more hard rock.
Kicks.
Yeah.
Yes,
Kicks.
It's always Kicks. Yep. Yeah.
We had Warrant. Warrant.
I
was
swear,
from
I
the
think I just saw a Kicks record.
Cherry
recently.
Pie by Warrant was our kind of regional flavor.
Oh yeah. I remember I used to have to work in a warehouse, and God, you couldn't get away from it. They're playing Cherry Pie like 9 times a day. I wanted to kill them.
Sweet cherry pie.
It was terrible.
Even Janie Lane hated that song.
Mhm.
He did. He hated being known for being the cherry pie guy.
Then he tells a story about he went to the record company for the next album, and they had that big Cherry Pie poster. It had been replaced with the Alice in Chains poster, and he was like, "Oh, this isn't." good."
Yeah.
Sign of the times.
Yeah,
That guy was like, "Who are you again?" Yeah.
yeah, right.
Yeah. I have
Yeah.
crazy Alice in Chains stories that I won't bore you with, but
Well,
we played
Cherry
with them
Pie
and-
could not. Cherry Pie was not sustainable. All that music sounded the same.
You know, and Grunt
really
was
rough.
the end of that.
It
All
was
that.
really rough to sit through
Yeah,
hours and hours of
right.
that. Yeah.
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 So what's coming up next for you guys? You got some shows, maybe touring Baltimore. We don't know what's going to happen.
Tony
Yeah.
Cottapod?
We've
Yeah,
got
we've
a
got
show coming up
one
later
show.
this week in Lincoln, and then we're gonna take a little time off and work on some new music. We've got some new stuff we've been working on. We're gonna be on a compilation record that's coming out, so we're gonna record a song for that, and then kind of see where we're at after the couple winter months.
Yeah, it seems like we're in the age of the Spotify algorithm. So you have to record an album, and then you have to record like 5 more songs that you just feed the algorithm every couple of months. That's what people
Oh,
seem to
man.
do nowadays. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
All about the algorithm. Yeah.
Yeah, we've just been working on stuff to hone the live set down to where we're comfortable, and then working on new stuff because we've been playing the live set for a little bit now, and it's fun to get some new stuff thrown in there because people are just like, oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
because it's the same kind of tone, but a little bit different direction, a little more aggressive, a little more.
Do you do any covers? Like, do you throw covers in? What kind of covers do you throw in?
Throw covers
That's-
in when we can.
The first cover we ever did, we did a Joy Division song.
Okay.
So we've done covers that kind of don't match what you would think for us.
Right. Right.
Like
No, that's
we
great.
did a
That's
Cure
great.
song, Primary by the Cure.
Okay. Yeah.
The Joy Division song was No Love Lost. So just, and then we were fucking around with something actually the last couple of days here. So like a Buzzcock song, I don't know, so
That's great. Yeah.
yeah, we have fun. We trying to think what else. We've probably done 1 or 2 others. So yeah.
Can't even think what they are.
Yeah,
Keep us on
Buzzcocks
our
are
toes.
they're still going strong. They have Diggle singing now, and he actually is pretty good. I mean,
Yeah, I've seen it's tough for me to envision them without Pete Shelley, but
I know, but
I mean, good
I
for
said the
them.
same thing. But the new album has Diggle singing the guitarist, and it's really good.
Yeah.
It sounds like the
Okay.
Buzzcocks. So,
I'll listen to it.
yeah,
it.
it's
Yeah.
pretty good. It came out
One of- one of-
last
that's-
year, I think. Yeah.
That would be my third band, so it'd be it'd be like
Buzzcocks.
Oh yeah.
Now we got it.
There you
yeah,
go.
that's who. Yeah,
Buzzcocks.
so
Yeah.
John
Richard
Pike.
Hill, the Saints, and frickin' the Buzzcocks. Man, that would be a
Buzzcocks,
fun.
that's great.
That would be a fun tour
Oh my God.
Yeah.
in their heydays.
Oh, yeah, definitely in their heydays.
We always call it before, a wild night. Mark and I always look at each other and go, "See you in the emergency room." So that would be one of those kind of
That
tours.
would be one of those. Like we're like Cam FDM is coming in March, and that's going to be a see you in the emergency room night. I just already know. Oh, well, this was great. I'm all jazzed about Omaha now.
Yeah, and
No
I'm-
wonder
Yeah.
Peyton Manning used to always yell Omaha. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
That's why.
Omaha.
Yeah.
Omaha.
That's why. Yeah.
That's why, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
He
now.
was, he was in the old punk rock scene
Yeah.
back here. That's why.
I
he
must
yelled
have
that.
been. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
scene here is good. It's like any place. It's, lots of, but it seems like it's, kind of thriving right now, and it's kind of fun,
Well, here's a question for you guys, because you guys are, it sounds like you guys are like kind of our age. So you ever like maybe your kids' bands or the bands that are friends of your kids' bands, when they're describing another band and they're throwing out these crazy names and you don't know, you've never heard of any of it, you're like, they sound like the Sideways Sidewalks or whatever. And you're like, dude, they're playing a Ramones cover. What the fuck? Do you ever have that where you're like, it's so obvious what they sound like, but these kids don't know that they don't go back that
Yeah,
far.
Right.
So they're throwing
Yeah,
out
they-
these crazy,
They
they
don't have
sound
the-
like Ethel and the Squids, and you're like, who the hell's that? They sound like the Dead Boys. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, my daughter did that to me. I love this band as everything unfolds. And she says, "Oh yeah, they sound like Evanescence." No, they do not.
Well,
Not
that's
one
just-
little bit. But I would never say that. I was
that's
just like,
just
"Oh,
wrong.
okay, yeah, okay, sure."
Yeah.
Yeah, all our kids are
It's
into
her-
all that.
It's her reference point. It's the reference
Yeah,
point.
they don't have the library.
They don't go
that
back
we-
as far.
Yeah.
Did people even like have guitars in the 1970s? Did that even exist? Were there cars back then?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's the cell phone conversation, right? It's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
We didn't have
back
cell phones.
before freaking cell phones.
They didn't
I used to
exist,
know,
no.
like, I used to have 8 tracks, and I knew like because you had on one side of the 8 track, I could cue up the one side of the 8 track so that I could just flip it, and the Barry White song would start up on the other side of the 8 track, and I'd be like, "Hey, baby," There's no remembering that.
I had a Devo 8-track that was oh god, what was it? Are We Not Men? Devo.
Oh, I
8-track.
love that record. Yeah, well,
Oh,
Devo.
it's a great
yeah.
record, right? Yeah,
Yeah, man.
we're all Devo fans, dude. We're actually
Yeah.
writing a song that kind of sounds like Devo right now, and it's like that's a total Devo song. So it's like yes, but yeah, 8 tracks. But my kids are now into vinyl. I've gotten them all turntables and decent speaker setups and decent amp setups, and they're just like, they're sending me shit. Sweeping Promises, bands like
Oh, they're
this.
good.
that
Yeah,
I-
they're really good.
Which is a great fucking record, right? And I'm just
Yeah,
like,
that's cool.
oh, thanks for sending that to me. That's my Christmas, is my kids send me records. Oh, here's a band. Here's my friend's band. Here's a band that my partner was in, and all this stuff. So it's fun. Music is just fun. So you just can't be burdened by music. You can't be burdened by playing in a band, and you just have to enjoy music because it's a gift. It's a great gift.
You're gonna play that first press copy of Nevermind the Bullocks on a $30 Walmart turntable. No, you're not.
Yeah,
No,
no,
you're not.
I've had those
That's
conversations
wrong.
with them. Yeah. Salad days. You're
The
not playing my
turntable
salad
cannot
days
cost
single.
less than the record. I mean, come on.
You're not playing fucking salad days single.
Well, now they got the
a
little
shitty
the
little
portable, the
turntable.
sound burger. You can get the sound burger now.
Yeah, the sound burger.
Have you seen the sound burger?
Yeah, Audio Technica put
Yeah.
that back out. The sound burger. I was like, no, you cannot play that on your shitty turntable. You're not.
But it's Bluetooth, Dad. Come on. I don't care.
Nope.
You're not putting
Nope.
it on there. Yeah.
Here's how it works.
All right.
Well, on our last episode, we put up, we both did our list for our top 10 of 2023.
Yeah.
And you were on Mark's.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh,
Sleeper, you were like, I think you were number 3. Yeah.
wow.
And we
Thank
go
you.
through a lot of music.
Appreciate that.
A lot of music. Yeah. So great record.
That's
So just
awesome
keep
to
doing
hear.
what you're doing. It's great.
Well, we can't help it, right?
Yeah.
It just keeps
Well, the not
coming
giving
out.
a fuck part is so important. I mean, it really is.
It
so.
is. There's, like I said, it's for ourselves, and it's when people hearing you that you like it, man, that makes me very happy.
Do you look
Told me to
back on
suck
like
too.
some of the stuff that you worried about when you were in the bands in the 80s and 90s and think it was silly? Does that ever happen where you're like, oh my God, the way my hair looked didn't matter at all. Like, do you ever have like that kind of those kind of thoughts? Or
Yeah, and you think about shows with other bands, and that the dynamic was always, somewhat intense because it was sometimes very competitive at times. Sometimes, depending. I mean, you had your good friends, and now it's like I don't give a shit. You know what? And especially sometimes when we played younger bands, and you see their little. I'm just like, oh my god, you're gonna, you're freaking out over something so
Yeah.
stupid, or
this went exactly how I thought it was going to go. I thought these guys are our age. We're just going to geek out on music for an hour.
we're just
so that's
goofballs,
fine.
yeah.
That's great. Yeah.